If you're a heat and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson and you're just getting into sales, what should you expect from sales meetings and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live from Sacramento, California. Any perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. I'm coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets. Okay, so you're brand new to sales. You're on a larger team or a medium-sized team, and you're at your first sales meeting. Let's talk about what to expect from your manager. So in video number 1, we're going to talk about your manager. Your manager has a role and responsibility for you to do some work. So if you don't know this, a bunch of managers get together and they go over numbers and they go through what their expectations are. And in that meeting, they get marching orders. Here's what you need to live up to so we can meet the budget so that you can get your bonus. And so you have to know that they have something on the line. And when you go into that meeting, they may be aggressive and they may say, hey, I've got a file here and the only thing I could put is numbers. Or they may be more accommodating, or they could be somewhere in between, right? They have things that they need to do. That's their role. That's their job. That's their function, is to get you to get sales. And so like when you go into the meeting, you have to be aware of this is the situation. You have to be aware that like they have something that they need to achieve. And so they're going that direction. And you have salespeople, you have technicians that walk there, and you have salespeople and technicians that are pulled there. Right? Heads up, be the person that walks there or runs towards that direction instead of the person who needs to be pulled. And so they will go over numbers, and they might talk about turnovers. They might talk about add-on sales. They might talk about tech set leads. They might talk about maintenance programs sold. And, that is the metric that they're living off of. So of course they're going to say, hey, here's what's going on. And so some companies look at it as like a jackpot situation. Like, hey, if you're setting turnovers or tech set leads, we don't care if you do add-ons or if you sell maintenances. And then some companies look at it, you have to hit numbers in every one of those columns for you to get your bonus. And the reason I bring this up is, let me grab my notes here. The reason I bring that up is it's done to put pressure on you. It's done for you to know exactly what you need to do and what's going on. And so, when I was in the management team and we would have new technicians or new salespeople come in, some of them would be like, this isn't for me, because nobody explained to them, this is what to expect. You grow into this. If you're brand new, you're not expected to hit all these metrics and numbers. They might have a different set of metrics and numbers. If you've been around for a while, they may come back and go, dude, like, you've had the coaching, you've had the training, and if you've been around for a long time, you're just gonna know either you're cutting the grade or you're not. Okay, so when you take a look, at the end of the day, there's a couple of people who are going to make the most amount of noise in these types of meetings. One, the person who's winning, right? Some chest thumping, dude, I am the greatest thing since sliced bread. My mama loves me. My neighbors love me. You love me. Right? Every company has this dude or has this chick. They're like, I am the greatest thing ever. Right? And so you just got to be aware. That's part of it. And this right here is why you should join HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. Now, in these meetings, there is whining, there is complaining, and then there's celebrating. And so the people who complain the most are going to be the people, A, who don't like sales, and B, didn't do well. And so be aware that sometimes these people, the reason I'm letting you know this is sometimes these people in these meetings that either A, don't like sales, or B, are not doing well, will take everything off of a tangent, right? Like realistically, what should happen is there should be a meeting offline where you pull them aside and say, hey, we're going to talk after the meeting. But what they do is they try to circumvent what the meeting is, and they try to take over by telling stories. They try to take over by some of the drama that they're creating. And so like, if you're brand new to this and nobody's ever told you, you're like, oh man, I don't know if I necessarily like this because it's hard. Well, look, whether you're struggling or not, you're growing and everything is supposed to be hard. Like I'll tell you today, hard day for me, right? Today was a hard day for me. Doesn't like my details probably aren't very interesting to you, but if I say, hey, hard day for me, like it's okay for you to have hard days. It's okay for you to struggle. It's okay for you to go through a period of life where things aren't working out the way that they're supposed to. And just be aware that these meetings are done for a reason, right? Like you have a manager, they have a role, they have a responsibility, they have things that they need to get done. You've got an owner that you're answering to because everything's built on a budget. And, it might be interesting for you is where appropriate, you might be able to ask a manager or a business owner, hey, I want to understand how, the industry works and how what we do. Would it be all right if I sat on a management meeting? Like, I'm trying to get to understand this. Some managers are going to say, like, absolutely not. Some owners are going to say, no freaking way. But occasionally they might go, hey, let's sit down. I'll tell you why I want these numbers to be the way that they are, is because when everybody produces, we make a revenue, we make a profit. When nobody produces, we make what we like to refer to as zero. So be aware that your first sales meeting may be fantastic. It may be or it may freak you out a little bit. And either way, that's okay. Just go to whoever the person is that at your company that you trust, the person who hired you, and say, hey, this is what I saw. Can you give me some information and explain to me why things went down the way they went? Not like aggressive, like I'm curious. Like, I want to be really good at this. I want to know what I'm getting into. I want to know how this goes down. Be aware that the manager's got a role and function, or the owner's got a role and function, and it's usually to produce money. You got one of three things to do from here. So one of three, find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, come on, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.